Hello YouTube, your friendly neighborhood witch Runa here. Hello. Today is Halloween, also known as Samhain, for all of us pagans and witches out there. So very blessed Samhain to you. May your ancestors come visit you this beautiful season, and you celebrate the relinquishing of the past and all of that good stuff, and enjoy yourself, and make time for some Halloween fun. Eat some candy, have some fun. But today, I want to talk about something in particular. That particular something, tarot. So, lots of people read tarot. Lots of decks exist out there. I have a few. I have this one, which is the Daemon deck. It's a little different than your average deck, and operating with like suites and arcanas and suites. Either one. It doesn't really have that kind of thing. It operates via like imagery, and I incorporate some demonology and other things like that into my readings. As well as intuition. I can talk. Definitely I can talk. Intuition and other things. But I want to talk about reading tarot and getting started. Now, tarot is a form of divination. Divination is what we do when we want to tell the future or hidden things about a situation, how things are going to go with a spell, all sorts of things. And it can be used for spirit communication as well. You can use tarot for spirit communication. You can use tarot for a lot of things. You can use it for spell casting, all sorts of stuff. So, I want to talk about getting started and my experiences in tarot. Could try to keep it brief. I'll probably make more videos on this. Who knows? So, a lot of people will say there's certain things, certain superstitions and stuff with tarot. I've heard a couple, like, some people say you can't buy your own deck. Why? I don't understand. Why? What's the difference? I don't believe that myself. I think however you come across your deck, as long as you cleanse your deck, you attune yourself with your deck. That could be done in many ways. Whatever way suits best to you. It tunes to your energy. Get to know the cards. Get to know each card. A lot of people recommend wrapping it in cloth, or having your deck near you or under your pillow or by your bedside when you sleep, to help attune it with your energy, or to carrying it around with you. Either way. I don't really think there's many other things that I can say about superstitions. I just don't believe in them. I haven't heard a lot, but I know there's a few. Don't worry about them. I wasn't like formally gifted my deck either, but this is the deck I resonate with the most out of the ones I have. I have this one. I have the Bram Stoker's Vampire Tarot. I have a couple Oracle decks. I have a Past Life Oracle deck, and I don't know, do you consider a Lenormand deck Oracle or not? I don't know. I have a Lenormand deck too. But this is my go-to. If you can hear that, that's my heater. It kind of switches on and off. That's how I have it set. Keep it comfortable in here. Anyway, so getting started reading tarot. Now, I can't really explain all of these suits and arcanas and everything pertaining to my particular deck. I don't really read that type of deck yet. The Vampire Tarot is like that, but I haven't really experimented with it too much. A little bit. So I can read from it if I really put my mind to it, but this one jumps out at me the most. And I think that's part of why, why that is partly to do with my past and working with demons and such. Makes sense to me, at least. But whether you're going to read from a book or do it intuitively, you can do either one. I suggest when you're getting to know your cards, you study them. And this goes for any kind of deck. You study your cards, get to know them energetically, but also usually your deck will come with a book. It should. If it doesn't, you probably got it used or something and the book wasn't there, or someone just gave you a deck. But many decks will come with a book. They should. All of my decks did. And they come with descriptions and different spreads you can do, stuff like that. And then that's another thing. There's 1,000,005 different spreads for tarot readings of all different kinds. There's ones like different Celtic cross spreads and 3-card spreads, single card spreads, 7-card spreads, 12-card spreads, all the spreads. You can make them yourself, you can use other people's, you can do both. I do both, but I tend to just kind of read as it comes. I will say that for me, going by the book, because I used to really cling to the book. I think the book is like somewhere over there somewhere. I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't paid attention to it in like a good year and a half or so. But been reading tarot for maybe like two years or so, something like that. But I started practicing with it and reading by the book and going by the book's intuitions and correspondences to each of the demons and the other kinds of things, because there's not all demons in here. There's a couple other things, but and I was still getting results, accurate readings. But interestingly enough, I think the spirits had something else in mind and wanted to help me out a little bit, because I was doing a ritual outside last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year, something like that. It was probably, I think it was early last year. And I was bringing my deck with me because I was going to do some divination work, and lo and behold, I had just cast my circle and I forgot the book. I remembered my notebook and everything, and I remembered my deck and everything else, but I forgot my book. So I wasn't going to go to the trouble of breaking the circle or anything, or taking it down and then going back in and getting the book and coming back. So it forced me to take the training wheels off, so to speak. So I did my readings, and it forced me to go by, like, say, imagery or different correspondences and intuition and how the overall feeling of the card. And now I've never looked at the book since then, and I'm very thankful for that happening. And I think maybe Lucifer did that. I'm not entirely sure who just kind of poked and be like, you know what, you're gonna forget your book just this once and it's gonna change everything. I don't know. He's good for stuff like that. But so I read entirely intuitively, and I've gotten very accurate readings for this. Mind you, tarot is not foolproof. The future is ever changing, and sometimes your reader reads something in a weird way or something. It's not 100% accurate all the time, but some of the accuracy here I have gotten is scary, and most of it I have gotten is pretty scary. I have read for situations I've had nothing to do with myself, have very limited information on, read about people I've never met, read for people I've never met, strangers, and I've given good readings doing it this way, so I'm on to something, I guess. But my bottom line with all of this is, if you're trying to get started in tarot, get to know your cards, study up on your book, but you don't have to cling to the book. In fact, I would recommend, studying the book, but I would recommend studying your cards more and trying to read intuitively, so that you don't have to read the cards by a book, and you read the card the way the card wants to be read, if that makes sense. Because, say, I'll just pick a random card out of here. Okay, we have Pickles. And, this card can say a lot of different things. All depends on what you're reading for. And that goes a lot when you're reading from cards like this. They don't have your general, usual ties to them, I would assume. But you're kind of forced to think outside the box. So why are you reading for this card? Why are you reading for tarot, and why are you pulling cards? And why would he come up? So it all depends. What can you tell about the imagery of the card? I don't know if this is showing reverse on here. On my screen it is. But what can you tell about the imagery? What direction is the person looking? What kind of facial expression does the person have? What are they holding? What are the objects? What are they wearing? What is the overall feeling of the card? What vibe do you get reading from this card for whatever your question is? Do you get a good vibe from this? Do you get a sinister vibe? A sneaky vibe? All of these things are factors that will give you your reading. And it takes practice. So continue to practice. Practice, practice, practice. If something that's a good exercise is pulling a card every day or something, like, so shuffle them up, pull a card, like, what's my day gonna look like? And take a look. See what kind of things you might be expecting for the day. See if it adds up. And keep doing that. Do that every day, or do a spread for your week, or whatever else, or read for yourself, read for others. That's another one. Some people say you can't read for yourself. Bullshit. You can read for yourself. You can. I will say it's hard to read for yourself depending on why you're reading. If the situation is hard, it's hard not to, fudge the reading a little bit in your favor. Because these cards will tell you the truth most of the time. I mean, something can come through and, lie to you. So, they're not foolproof. So it's important to keep protected and stuff like that. But for reading for yourself, you can do that. Most definitely you can do that. I would say it benefits, definitely, to get another person's opinion. So then you don't have the risk of fudging your answer. And you still get the tough love, honesty from your cards or from their reading. But that doesn't mean you can't. If you're confident that you're going to give yourself the truth and your reading ability, do it. And that's another thing I wanted to say because of the protection. You don't necessarily have to cast a circle or anything when you're going to read, because that's a lot for just a reading, especially if it's just one question. But when you're doing any kind of divination, you want to make sure you close any doors that you open, because you're opening a door. You're talking to other things, whether they're spirits around you or you're contacting a certain spirit. If you talk to a certain deity through your cards or whatever else, you're still opening a door. And the more you do readings, the more things you open up, and you want to make sure you're closing that stuff so you don't invite a bunch of chaos and stuff into your life. That's no fun. So keep yourself protected. Keep yourself up to speed with things. Trust your intuition. That is the biggest thing that I can tell you to do with all of this. And I know my hair is looking kind of wild today. I just threw it up in a ponytail because that was hot earlier. Forgive that. I've been kind of looking at myself like, wow, okay, yeah, you look kind of, yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna wrap this up here. I think that's about all I have to say for beginner tips and getting started. If you have any questions, let me know. Questions about the deck, questions about my experience, anything. Comment below, email me. Come check out my Facebook page with my partner. He's still trying to get his YouTube up, so I have to talk to him about that. I don't know what's going on, but eventually. But we're both on the page actively. If you're looking for spiritual services or readings or past life regressions or past life readings in that kind of way, spell work, anything else, let us know. Fair prices, and yeah, so have a good day. Blessed be. Blessings to you all. Have a very blessed Samhain. Happy Halloween. Stay safe. Enjoy your communion with ancestors and anyone else that you may be looking to spend time with, and just have a good night.